let's try to solve this problem called linked list cycle from Leetcode 141. Given the head of a linked list determine if the linked list has a cycle in it. There is a cycle in a linked list. There is some node in the list that can be reached again by continuously following the next pointer. Internally, pos is used to denote the index of the node that the tail's next pointer is connected to. Note that pos is not passed on as a parameter. Return true if there is a cycle in the linked list, otherwise return false. Okay, so like our example here, we are given a linked list and there's a cycle because -4 is looping over and connected with a 4, so there is a cycle here. And then example 2 as well, there is a cycle. And example 1, there is only one node by itself, so there is no cycle. So let's figure out what our input is, right? So our input is head of linked list, and our output is to find if linked list has cycle or not. So return boolean, right? Like yes, true or false. And our constraint here is, I'm just gonna say optimal, and our edge case here, I guess so I can't see the obvious test case here. I mean obvious edge case here, so we'll just leave it like that for now. Okay, so the way we can solve this problem is by creating a set with all these nodes, and then we can check if the node already exists on the set, and if it does, then we can just return false, and after at the end we can just return true. So let's say our new set equals to new set, and then this says empty. Okay, so what we can do is say while, let's assign current to head. So we can say while current is not equal to null. So in this case, if there was a cycle, we would never fulfill this condition, because we would never technically get out of this while loop, because there is no null, right, if there's a cycle. But we can come out of the while loop in this case by saying that if the set already has this node, then we will just return false. Okay, so that's how we get out of this while loop. So what we can do is just do new set dot add current, and then current, assign it to current dot next. And then we can say, actually what we can do is say if new set dot has current, return false, else okay, so we'll just work the else if statement like that. So it will iterate through the entire linked list, and then it will return false if we have already encountered the node before. But if not, we can just return true. So if this is the example we're given, right, we'll run through the while loop, and then once we hit the 4, and the 4 is going to point to 2, and the 2 we have already in the set, so that would mean that we'll get out of the while loop and we'll just return false. And in case if the linked list is not cycle, it doesn't have a cycle, if let's say if it is 1 like that, it will still get out of this while loop because our condition says if the current does not equal to null, right? So first it will look for 1, like this part, and then our current.next is null, right? So in that case, we would get out of this while loop and we'll just return true. So let's try to run this and see if we get the right answer. I think I did it wrong. Like, so it has to be true there and then false here. It's because we are checking if it is a cycle, right? So if it is a cycle, we need to return true. So let's try to submit the entire problem and see. Yep, we got the right answer.